Hi, good evening, Facebook. It's nice to be here again. Today is surprisingly day 7 of my 25-day mental health um, mental health awareness challenge. And as you all know by now, I was nominated by my friend Victoria Lawrence. Reverend Lawrence herself was nominated by her friend Antonia Justin to do this challenge. So over the last 6 days, to today being the seventh, I've been talking about a particular theme on mental health. And today I'm on letter E. And E today I'll be talking about exercise and mental health. Just before I go into what I'm going to talk about today, I just want to say again that I really do appreciate the conversation that is going on. I'm really humbled by how many people have shared these posts on their videos, on their pages. I was just looking through the pages tonight, or the previous post tonight, and I found out so many of them that I had even missed, people who had shared on their walls. Thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate it. And let's get the word out. Let's get the conversations going. I do believe that some of these videos are relevant to certain people, and we never know how much impact this is going to make on people's lives. So once again, I'm just so grateful and really appreciate this community. So exercise and mental health. There is plenty of evidence now that cannot be denied that exercise actually plays a role in maintaining mental well-being. And not only does it play a role, it plays a role in maintaining mental well-being, and it can also help to improve mental health problems. So, what really is exercise? Exercise is any physical activity that is able to that we engage in. And in terms of exercise, really, when we are thinking about exercise in terms of improving mental health, we are looking at physical exercise that is up to 30 minutes of exercise about 3 to 5 times in a week. So we are looking at from 150 to 250 minutes of exercise in a week, and it's such that it's of moderate intensity. Moderate intensity exercise is exercise in which when you are engaged in the activity, you are still able to talk, but you are not able to sing to the words of a song. So that's the difference between moderate exercise and rigorous exercise. In rigorous exercise, you are not able to sing to the words of a song, and you are actually not able to talk for more than a few words before you catch your breath. But what the research shows is that moderate exercise for 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, would actually help to deliver the benefits on your mental health. And what are the benefits associated with this? Before we go into the benefits associated with it, let's actually talk about why it works. Because people say it's only exercise after all. It's only jogging, it's only swimming, it's only skipping on the rope, or running, or even gardening. Why does that impact on your mental health? What we know is that exercise is actually it's associated with a release of certain chemicals that are called endorphins. Endorphins are feel good chemicals in the brain, and when you exercise, the brain actually releases those feel good chemicals. But more than that, which a lot of people don't know, is that there are also chemicals in the brain called endogenous cannabinoids. Endogenous in the sense that they are manufactured in the body. The body actually secretes or produces the brain produces certain chemicals that feel like that are similar to cannabis, and when exercise takes place, those chemicals are actually released in the brain. So that's why you see somebody who goes to the gym, and by the time they are leaving the gym, they just feel pumped up. They feel like sometimes they really feel like they're on top of the world. They feel like they've conquered the world. They feel like they've won the lottery. That's and there are other chemicals that are also released in the brain as a result of physical exercise. So that's the reason why it works. The other reason why it works is that we know that physical exercise actually improves physical exercise improves physical health, and improvement in physical health, because there's such an interlink between physical and mental health. Improvement in physical health is also known to improve mental health. The other thing, of course, is that most exercises are done in a group. So the fact that you're in a group allows you social interaction, and that's also known to be very positive for mental health. We also do know, for instance, that exercise is associated um, exercise is associated with increase of the heart rate. Increase. It also, in fact, helps with self-esteem. So all of those things can help in improving the mental health, as well as the fact that exercise is also um, associated with distraction. When you are engaged in exercise, particularly when it is to do with something that takes your mind off the symptoms, that can also be very helpful. And we do know that in addition, there are certain that the exercise also affects, it modulates the stress response of the brain towards stress. So those are the several ways in which exercise actually helps us. And I've talked about the different forms of exercise that we can engage in. So the benefits of exercise, it improves anxiety, it improves depression, it improves self-esteem. We do also know that it's good for physical well-being. We know that for chronic pain, for instance, obesity, all of those things, even people, even conditions such as diabetes, when you have all those it lowers blood pressure, for instance. So it's good in for outcome in most physical problems, heart disease, all of those. And we know that improving your physical health will eventually also have an impact on your mental health. So the question, and I think it's really the main question, exercise is not something that people really enjoy engaging in. Personally, I didn't like exercise for a very, very long time, despite the fact that I prescribe exercise. But some years ago, I began to ask myself the question that middle-aged men should ask themselves. That look, I found that I was prescribing exercise to other people and I wasn't doing it, and I was beginning to ask myself that what's different about you? Why are you giving this to other people and not doing it? And that set me on a different path in my life. And so, what are the things that you can do to actually help you? I think the first thing is the mindset. If we continue to see exercise as a chore rather than a benefit, then we are probably never going to engage in it, because the brain is so skilled at creating excuses for something that it believes is not going to do you benefit. So, the first thing to do is to begin to see that exercise is a good thing for you. When you begin to think about exercise, begin to think about the fact that you are doing your heart a great deal of good, you are doing your brain a great deal of good. The other thing I didn't mention about the reason why exercise helps us is that it actually improves blood supply to the brain. And we do know as well that exercise has been associated with reduced risk of dementia in later life. So we need to change our mindsets. We need to see that exercise is actually a benefit rather than a chore. The other thing is that we need to do something that we enjoy. In this day and age, is that you are spoiled for choice. Just do what is it that you enjoy. Is it gardening? Some people enjoy dancing. If you enjoy dancing and you enjoy worship music, you can as well do praise aerobics. There are several of them on the internet these days. There are several of them on YouTube, and you really don't need to pay anything to do those things, because you don't need to enroll in a gym to actually get your exercise to get your exercise quota for the week. Of course, the other thing to think about is that you might want to do it in a group. Being accountable to somebody or being accountable to a friend or to a group could actually help. I know people who have a walking group, for instance. I know a group of women who come together every morning or ever so often, and they walk together. They walk together. Sometimes they actually make it. They also make it. They introduce some spiritual elements to it. They could call it a prayer walk, for instance. So all of those things, they could make it a prayer walk, for instance. All of those things is just being creative about exercise. But we do know that having an accountability person is very helpful. I remember a while back, I think it was 2 years ago in church, we actually did an exercise. We decided that there was going to be a challenge for a particular week. It was going to be a physical health week, and everyone was going to have a pedometer, and everyone was going to try and see how much they could walk. And the people who walked the highest number of steps were awarded gifts at the end of the year, the annual dinner. So there are several things that we can do to really promote physical exercise in our groups, in our communities. So do what you enjoy, get a companion, change your mindset, and be creative about it. For instance, incorporate it into your personal life as well, incorporate it into your lifestyle. On a personal note, after a while during the lockdown, after a few months, the lockdown was obviously, being a doctor was peculiar for me because I'm working longer hours than usual, um, dealing with all the pressure of what that entails. I found out that, and of course, the gyms were closed, so I found out that my exercise regime went down the drain, and very quickly, it wasn't very quickly, but after a few months, I went on the scale, and I was horrified to find out that I'd piled on about 3-4 kilograms of weight, and that was a wake up call for me. It reminded me that because I had settled into a different style at work, I wasn't walking again. And so what I did was I began to walk during lunch. My lunch break, I began to walk. I had a 30 minutes a stretch that I was walking around my work area. And that has been of so much benefit to me. Obviously, I have been able to shift some of this weight. I'm still on it, but in addition, it's the feeling of well-being. It's the fact that I'm able to clear my head in the middle of the day. I'm able to think. I'm able to reflect. I'm able to meditate. So there is so much to be said in favor of exercise, and I just want to encourage you today to think about it. And I also want to hear from you, please. What have you done that has worked for you with exercise? What have you done? What creative ways have you been able to introduce exercise into your lifestyle? What do you do in your community that has helped other people to introduce exercise? And what are the benefits of exercise to you? How has it improved your mental health? Let's get the conversation going. Once again, I'm just so grateful that you listen to this and you give me feedback. Um, just to round up to say that 10th of September, which is on Thursday, in 2 days, is the World Suicide Prevention Day. And I'm looking forward to doing a video on suicide prevention and understanding suicide on the day. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. But before then, there's still the video for tomorrow. Thank you for watching and have a good night.